The Alcatraz escape, the mystery that still exists. One of the most famous prisons ever, Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary. Sitting on an island, surrounded by freezing, dangerous waters. In 1962, 3 prisoners pulled off one of the most genius escape plans ever. They created fake heads using soap and real hair, and placed them in their beds to trick the guards. Then they slowly dug through the walls using basic tools, made a homemade raft, and disappeared into the night. To this day, no one knows if they survived, or died trying. Locked with key, the Brazilian prison chaos escape. Inside a dangerous prison in Brazil, Carandiru Penitentiary, everything turned into chaos. A massive riot broke out. And in the middle of the confusion, dozens of prisoners escaped. They used the disorder as their opportunity. But escaping the prison was only the beginning. A massive manhunt followed across the city. Brain the silent tunnel escape. In a high-security prison in France, one inmate planned his escape, for years. No violence, no rush, just patience. He started digging a tiny tunnel. A little bit every single day. Carefully hiding every trace. Day after day, month after month. Until one day, he was gone. No alarms.
وترميم السجن
No
مجددا
warning.
لاستقبال أخطر مجرمي
Just
أمريكا
disappeared.
وهو الذي افتتح.
The helicopter escape. In one of the wildest escapes ever, in Canada. They didn't escape underground. They escaped from the sky. A helicopter was hijacked and landed right inside the prison yard. Within minutes, the inmate was picked up and gone. Before guards could even react. Acts escaping with almost nothing. In older prisons across the United States, some prisoners didn't have tools. They used spoons and whatever they could find, slowly scraping away at the walls. For months, even years. It sounds impossible. But some of them actually made it out. Roman Empire. Let's start with one of the most famous empires, Roman Empire. At its peak, it controlled vast parts of Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. Rome was the center of power, and its army was one of the strongest in history, but, despite its greatness, it fell. Corruption, internal conflicts, and external invasions led to its collapse. Now get ready for one of the most brutal empires, Mongol Empire. It was led by one man, Genghis Khan. In a short period, he built the largest land empire in history. His army was fast, ruthless, and unstoppable. Cities were destroyed, entire populations wiped out, but after his death, the empire slowly began to fall apart. The Islamic Empire. The Islamic Empire. One of the fastest growing empires in history, Islamic caliphates. In less than a century, it expanded from Spain to the borders of China. It was not just a military power, but also a center of science, medicine, and philosophy. But over time, divisions appeared, and the empire weakened. Crown the British Empire. The empire where the sun never sets, British Empire. It controlled vast territories across multiple continents, and had influence almost everywhere, but, after global wars, its power began to decline. Eventually, it broke into independent nations. An empire that lasted for centuries, Ottoman Empire. It ruled parts of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. It was a massive political and military power, but in the end, it collapsed after World War I.
Democracy. The idea is simple. The people rule. Citizens choose their leaders through elections. Sounds perfect, right? But in reality, it's not always that simple. Sometimes, people may choose the wrong leader, or media influence can shape public opinion. Still, democracy remains one of the most widely used systems in the world. Crown monarchy, the second system. Here, power is held by a king or queen, and usually, it's passed down through family, like in the United Kingdom. But not all monarchs rule the same way. Some have full control, while others are just symbolic figures. And the government runs the country. Warning: dictatorship. Now, we enter the darker side. Dictatorship. In this system, one person controls everything, no real elections, no opposition allowed. It might seem powerful because decisions are made quickly. But the problem? If the leader is bad, no one can stop them. Communism, the main idea. Everyone is equal. There are no large gaps between people, and the state controls resources. This system was applied in the Soviet Union, but in reality, it faced major problems, like weak economic performance and lack of motivation. On the other side, capitalism. Here, the market controls everything. Businesses compete, and individuals can earn money freely, like in the United States. But this system can create a huge gap between the rich and the poor. Collision. Conclusion. In the end, there is no perfect system. Each one has its strengths and its flaws. But what matters most? Did you know that the country is understanding the system you live under? Because politics is not just news. It's something that shapes every part of your life. Is understanding the system you... Can you believe that a war once started because of a bucket and ended with thousands dead? Or that an entire conflict broke out because of a football match? History isn't just kings and empires. It's full of bizarre events that sound completely unreal. Today, we're taking you on a journey through the strangest wars in human history. Conflicts that started for ridiculous reasons, but led to real disasters. Crossed swords. The War of the Bucket. In medieval Italy, a conflict erupted between Bologna and Medina. The reason? A soldier from Medina stole a wooden bucket from a well in Bologna. That was enough to spark outrage. Bologna declared war. Imagine this. Two armies, thousands of soldiers. All because of a bucket. The result? Massive casualties. And surprisingly, Medina kept the bucket as a trophy. Soccer ball. The football war. In Central America, tensions exploded between El Salvador and Honduras. The trigger? A football match during World Cup qualifiers. Beneath the surface, there were deeper political and economic tensions. After a heated match, riots broke out. The military got involved. What started as a game turned into a real war. Pig faced. The Pig War. A strange dispute once nearly led to war between United States and United Kingdom. The reason? An American farmer shot a pig. The pig belonged to a British settlement. Tensions escalated quickly. Troops were sent from both sides. Think about it. The world was close to war. Because of a pig. Fortunately, it was resolved peacefully. War was declared. The stray dog incident. A border conflict broke out between Greece and Bulgaria. The reason? A soldier chased his dog across the border and was shot. That single moment triggered a military response. An entire army was mobilized because of a lost dog. The War of Jenkins' Ear. A conflict erupted between United Kingdom and Spain. The cause? A British captain claimed that Spanish forces cut off his ear. He even kept it as proof. The ear was presented in Parliament. And that was enough. War was declared. These wars may sound ridiculous, but the consequences were very real. Lives were lost
حيث أنه حصل منذ
over
سنوات.
reasons that could have been avoided. And it raises an important question. Do humans ever truly learn from history? Or are we still repeating the same mistakes in different ways? These wars may sound ridiculous.